Assalamu alaikum. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that haven't seen my channel, go and subscribe and like, and I'll be putting on more videos soon. My name's Mariam and I have a little baby boy called Yahya. He is 13 weeks old. Actually, he's going to be 13 weeks tomorrow. I just thought I'd start doing a YouTube channel because I have nothing else to do at the moment. Time up. Anyway, when I found out I was pregnant, I was keen on finding out the Islamic sunnahs that we would need to fulfill for our son. When we have a baby, we kind of do things that our parents have done or like we've seen other people doing, and I just wanted to know why. So thankfully, my husband Zahid found a really good video from a Sheikh called Omar Suleiman. He is an American scholar and he did a three and a half hour lecture on the Fiqh of pregnancy. Now, it's a long time to sit down and go through it. I made like 4 sets of notes. I wrote down everything that he said and kind of tried to implement it into our kind of daily life. I will put the link down below for Omar Suleiman's video, so please do go and watch that. I do highly recommend it. Download it on your phone, iPad, whatever you have, download it and watch it. It's very good, really informative, and it will help you make the right decisions, inshallah. So just a quick disclaimer before everybody jumps down my throat. I am not a scholar or a woman that has studied fiqh of pregnancy for years and years and years. I am just giving you my view on Omar Suleiman's video specifically and how I implemented it in my baby's life. So he explains, and I never knew this, but during pregnancy, and I think it's up until you're exclusively breastfeeding as well, so the woman is in jihad, and I never knew this. So this was amazing for me because we don't get many opportunities as women to do jihad, and this being one of them. I took every opportunity to make as many du'as as possible. In Omar Suleiman's video, he does also go into how do you get righteous children, because when you have a baby, you want your child to be as righteous as possible. Try and be the best that they can be in the ummah. And he breaks it down into 4 different categories. Firstly, it starts with your parents. So ensuring that you have a really good relationship with your parents. Now, with me, I have an amazing relationship with my parents. I thought, me and my dad, lovely relationship. Me and my mum, I thought, lovely relationship, we got on so well. But soon did I realise, after Zahid nagged me about this for ages, I am quite harsh on my mum, and she just takes it. And I don't think when you have a relationship with your mum and you think you're best friends and you love each other so much and you do everything, like I call her up every day, I speak to her all the time, I ask her for advice, I confide in her, she is like my best friend. However, there's a really fine line between being your best friend and being your mother. And sometimes I realise I do cross that, and I think a lot of girls do, but they don't realise it. I used to tell her off like a best friend, so if she did something, I would tell her off like I'm telling my friend off, and I can't do that. I'm younger than her. I can't be telling her what to do. She needs to be telling me what to do. There's more of a mother-daughter respect there now, I think. We're still best friends, but we now have that mother-daughter relationship. It's how you are with your parents, it will turn around. It will come back to you. You need to make sure that you build that relationship and make it good. Like, if you haven't got a good relationship with your parents at the moment, try. Like, your parents will love you no matter what, regardless. So just try with them. Try hard. Try from today, whenever it is. It's such an important thing to have a close bond with your family, especially your mum and dad. The second one is when choosing a spouse. To have a righteous child, you need to make sure that you're looking for the qualities in a man that you would want the father of your children to have. So make sure that they are patient, make sure that they are kind, caring and loving. There's so many things that you need to think about when you're looking for a spouse. I know a lot of girls these days are very picky. I don't think you should be picky, just look for the core values. When me and Zahid met, we are completely different, by the way. We are so different. But our core values and our souls are so intertwined, and I believe it is, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But our souls are so intertwined, we come together and we mesh and we know what we want from life and what we want from the hereafter. And that's kind of what you need to make sure that is the same. Not, I like going to the same restaurants, or I like going out and doing this, and I like doing this. He needs to be able to do the same things. No, like, look for somebody who is going to mesh with you on a spiritual level, not on a lively level. This life is so temporary. The hereafter is permanent, and I want to be, I know it sounds really soppy, but I want to be walking into heaven with Zahid. I want to be, you know, side by side with him. That's how you need to think about it. Number 3 is when being intimate. Now, there is a book called The Fortress of Muslims. So The Fortress of Muslims, it looks like this. You can get them, I think they come in like really small books as well, but I got this. It's probably about hand size, but this was from when we went to Hajj. So I got this from Makkah actually, but it's such a good book. Just keep it in your car, in your bag, in your house. It's got loads of little du'as in there that you can memorize and learn. We've got one in the car for travel prayer as well. So definitely keep Fortress of Muslims near your bedside table. So number 4 is building a good foundation. So if you have a good foundation for your child from the beginning, it can kind of like help you in the hereafter. My mum always says small, she says it in Urdu, but in English it's small branches are easily turned and you can guide them in the right way. Big branches and thick branches are really hard to move around and guide in the right way. And if you do it too much, they will crack and they will break. So she always says, from a young age, teach them, teach them, teach them. And when they get older, let them go, because that's the fruits of your labour. That's all that work, all that hard work that you've done when they were younger. Inshallah, they will be on the straight path, guided with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they're older. And to be able to build a good foundation for your children, I think it is really important for the parents to be able to implement as many sunnahs in the child's life as possible. Especially when you're pregnant, look into them and try and implement them in your daily life. So hopefully, I think there's about 9 or 10 topics that we'll go through today, and I'll just show you the things that we did and how we went into it, and how it helped us and how we implemented our sunnahs for little Yahya. Right, so let's get started. So there's no shyness when it comes to the deen, so I will be talking about quite sensitive topics. If you don't want to listen to them, you can just skip over them, but Omar Suleiman goes into a lot of detail, so definitely watch his videos on the true fiqh of pregnancy. Right, so topic 1 is quite a sad one. It's about miscarriages. They do happen to a lot of people. It is a very tough time for mothers, and it is not that easy to talk about. However, I know that some women do struggle with it. They don't know what to do, they don't know how to be. And if you've had a miscarriage after 4 months, the soul is in the body, and there's quite a few things that you should be doing in Islam. Omar Suleiman goes into detail on that, so do watch that section of his video. But please don't feel like you're on your own. Please don't feel like, why has this happened to me? It's a really, really sad thing, and it happens to a lot of people, but try and find the best in every situation. Turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your most difficult times, and He will always be there for you. So topic 2 is also a little sad, but it's about abortion. Omar Suleiman goes into a lot of detail about that. So there are 3 different categories: time from 0 to 40 days, from 40 days to 4 months, and after 4 months. What I found, which was amazing, was after 40 days, the soul is blown into the baby's body. And I am adamant, I knew when this happened. I was at home and I felt something come through the door, and oh, it was a weird experience. But anyway, Zahid thinks I'm crazy. Zahid was at his sister's house at that time, and I called him up and I was crying because I didn't know what had happened. But I kind of like felt like there was a spirit around. I felt like somebody was there. So if you do have to have an abortion after the 4-month period, or if you have a miscarriage after the 4-month period, you have to name the baby, you have to do a janazah for the baby. It's like a normal janazah. Thank you so much for watching. There is a part 2 and a part 3 on my channel. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and inshallah I will see you guys very soon.